Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our latest podcast. Now, we are talking about an AI company that does voice recognition that won a really big contract recently. It is Norwood System. The ticker is NOR. Now, obviously, do your research before you invest, but this looks kind of interesting after that big contract win. And he's the man to talk all about it, the CEO. Paul, how are you, mate?
Good morning, John. Thanks for having me on your show.
Absolute pleasure. Now, for those out there, please tell us a little bit more about Norwood.
Yeah, so Norwood, we're about a 10-year-old company. We started out in voice cloud services. We built very innovative platforms spanning the world, signed up about 7 million customers. For the last 6 years, we've been focusing on taking the technologies we developed and making them fit for purpose and usable by telcos around the world. And we have people like Spark New Zealand as one of our customers. And we're just delighted to now also welcome Optus into our fold of customers for a platform we call CogVoice Voicemail. And what we focus on is leveraging cloud-based technologies, AI technologies to create innovative new voice services that operators can use to delight their customers and hopefully re-monetize their voice services on their network.
Now, you have to speak more to that Optus deal. Like it's a 5-year deal, up worth around 3 million. Very game changing for your company. Tell us all about it and what does it mean for Norwood?
Yes, so it's it's $3 million contract over 5 years. Most of it's front loaded in the engineering services, the software licenses that we ship to them, and then there are some trailing maintenance revenues to support the platform over the next 5 years. The announcement we made anticipates potentially future contracts from Optus for premium voicemail services or potentially premium AI services as well. So the platform is the contract's really all about the platform and rolling out a refresh of the existing basic voicemail services that Optus has and setting the stage for potentially further innovation down the track with them. So we're super excited by it. Everyone's raring to go, and ever since we announced it, we've been incredibly busy.
So, since that Optus deal, which is very fresh, what
Mm.
are the probabilities of Norwood landing another Optus type client now as a result?
Well, that's an excellent question, John. If you go onto our LinkedIn pages, you'll see that we've had a lot of engagement with two key hyperscalers, Microsoft and AWS. And in particular, Microsoft has taken us into a large number of accounts around the world. So we have a very healthy pipeline of discussions in progress, as I would call them. Obviously, landing a nice contract like this with Optus is a really positive and very credible signal to these operators who are considering Norwood as maybe one of the smaller vendors and the stable vendors that they might transact with, that we're a trustworthy company and a credible company to deal with. So I think it has a very positive knock-on effect to the pipeline evolution that we have with operators in North America, Europe, Middle East, and other operators here in APAC.
Well, I'll be checking out your LinkedIn profile going forward after hearing that. Now, Norwood has a suite of products. Which one do you feel will generate the most revenue going forward?
That's another excellent question, John. If I had to bet, what I see happening as an extremely rapid industry evolution is AI is going into everything. There are about 1,000 agentic companies. Norwood was one of the early leaders in demonstrating AI agents that were voice-based back in as early as late 2021, predating ChatGPT by a year. But we've been working with the guys that built ChatGPT OpenAI since early 2021. So I guess it's no surprise that we've kind of been involved in agentic services. But I think where the real money for a company like Norwood lies is in doing the picks and shovels approach for the operators. In other words, delivering the plumbing that allows them to accelerate the delivery of AI services to their customers. What we've found engaging with operators over the last 3 years is the propositions people, the business units inside the operators really love the idea of AI services. Then they go talk to their networks team. Often operators are split into two kind of organizations called Netco and ServCo. So the ServCo guys are the ones with the propositions and delivering the services. The Netco guys are responsible for the plumbing and all the voice pipes and data pipes that they need. And the Netco guys tend to say, "Oh, big job, take 2 to 3 years," a bit like the the guy in Winnie the Pooh that talked about something similar. So what we've built is a platform called OpenSpan that is an accelerant that allows operators to very quickly deploy AI services within their network. And it is the moment at the moment where people have to start looking at this. We were just at MWC 2 weeks ago, and operators across the board had moved from seems interesting, maybe we'll do a POC this year, to my executive team are telling me I need to do something in AI. Show me how I can accelerate and move more quickly into the market. So we've over the last 2.5 years built this platform called OpenSpan. It acts like a language bridge between the language of telco network standards and all the advanced AI standards. And it allows you to sort of very quickly attach new AI services that know then how to talk to the native telco environment. I hope I didn't get too complicated with that. But that we see as enormous potential. It's a relatively uncontested market worldwide. We haven't seen any competitors actually when we go and talk head to head with, when we go and talk to customers in terms of head to head competition. And I believe every operator is going to need a network function of that ilk that allows them to start moving more quickly, because the telecoms industry is characterized by heavy standardization. It's a very slow moving function of time, and it's completely at odds with the very rapid evolution that we're seeing in AI services today. So something's got to give, and we're really betting on OpenSpan as being the solution that can help with that. We've been piloting it with a large operator in the US successfully, and we are in the middle of lots of discussions about how to deploy it with various operators around the world, mediated by our hyperscaler partners. So that's by itself. It's not enough, by the way. You also need some propositions that they can roll out quickly. So Norwood as well has built some very thoughtfully crafted, highly focused AI services that operators can use straight away to roll out on the network. One being detecting call fraud on incoming calls. You might worry about your parents getting their bank account emptied by a bad person. Would be great to have a little angel sitting on the line, listening to those calls and protecting your parents from any fraudsters that are trying to attack them. Real-time language translation for business in countries where there's multiple languages. Propositions that support small, medium enterprises to answer the phone more. Would you believe that a third of all calls don't get answered when you try to call a small business? So it would be great to actually have an automated solution that actually could guide the customer and behave in an agentic fashion to give them what they're looking for. So we build a bunch of these small early applications, as well as leaving the platform open for other parties to come in and build further applications on top of OpenSpan. And then OpenSpan's the core offer that sort of is the grease that slides in the applications into the operator network.
So, Paul, in terms of market expansion, are we focusing domestically first, or do we have global ambitions? Am I getting ahead of myself? What are we focusing on?
Yeah, no. We announced a couple of years ago that we had a global go-to-market initiative that we were working on a campaign. To that end, we've hired some extremely senior salespeople, fractional people that are helping us with go-to-market efforts, both in North America and Europe and the Middle East. We have sales already covered for Australia, and that again, the sales cycles are long, but we're seeing the pipeline steadily filling. And alongside that, our relationships with these hyperscalers is steadily strengthening because they're seeing, that we're coming more and more into focus as something useful that will pull through some of their services, as well as delivering value to their clients, which are the operators.
Now, Norwood only has a market cap of 10 odd million. What is your message to your shareholders and to future investors as to where the growth is for Norwood? Why should they invest in Norwood?
Yeah, so it's very hard going getting these operators on board, but we do feel like we've broken the knee of the curve in terms of this first contract or second contract now with the CSP after Spark and now Optus. Our goal in life is to sign roughly 30 of these operators. That's the theory of the firm, as I call it. If you consider them producing an average of a couple of $1 million each per annum, you're getting up into the tens, maybe close to 100 million revenues per annum, recurring, because the services that we deliver are SaaS-based licensing fees. There really aren't any cost of goods for the services that we deliver. You could draw a line between those two dots and say, look, if Norwood achieves those aspirational goals, it may potentially become a very, very valuable company. And so we're dead set on that. I think, again, going onto our LinkedIn page, you might get the sense that there's some very large parties that are really backing Norwood. And you've got to ask the question, why would they be doing that when we're this scale? It's, I think, because we're tackling a very important problem, and we're very optimistic and hopeful of what the future holds for us.
Paul, congratulations again on the Optus contract. That's a big feather in the cap of Norwood Systems. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Paul, thanks for coming. And I suggest everyone to have a look at Norwood Systems. Check out their LinkedIn profile. The ticker is NOR. Have a great day.
Thank you, John.